So our first line of guide will be for this plant spot and the open default plant spot, which will be planted like this. The first lineup spot for over here will be from B lobby. You'll be standing in this corner, and you want to aim around here, and you want to aim the fourth line of your Viper thing, so like above your Viper all icon on the top left of like your meter, like you see the dash line, you want to aim it around there, and probably want it in between this, like you see like that top point, you want to be aiming right there. And doing this will land in the open plant spot. Now the second lineup we have is from B tower, same plant spot. You'll be standing here, and you wanna throw it like this. I'll be intersecting this gray bar thing. Aim a little bit to the right of the wall in case you accidentally hit the wall. This will land like this. The last lineup we have is from B alley, and you want to stand in this corner, and you're gonna want to aim over here in between, like the middle of that. Aim your UI icon there, which you see I just put there. Then you throw your molly. Doing this will end like that. Now we'll be covering the second plant spot we'll do on B. And it's my philosophy on split to never ever plant here. This is the worst plant spot you could ever do, literally, in all the split. Like, if you plant here, then you might as well lose, because you are most likely gonna lose. So, my philosophy on split when you attack it is, if you're doing a 5-man B, like say all garage, which is a horrible idea from the start anyways, but say your teammates really want to do that, then you gotta plant here. If you plant here, you're most likely gonna lose. But the other plant spot we have is if you're going through mid, which is a better way to attack B, especially in solo queue for example. But in most scenarios like this, when you're attacking B from mid, it's because you're rotating. Like for the second plant spot I'm saying. So like say you're gonna rotate later in the round, and maybe you got picks this way, or maybe all the defenders rotated here, and you want to plant quicker, because it takes so many seconds to run here, and while you're planting here you'll also be in the open. So like if you're like the only one alive, or there's not that many people alive on your team, then you don't really want to be running over here as it's really in the open. And you probably lost heaven control, assuming like here in this scenario. So here's the second plant spot we're gonna do. It's gonna be in this corner right here. Alliance will be covered for this spot. You also want to be putting your orb here before you plant. So since you're coming from heaven, you want to plant safe. You want to be going from rafters and then throw your orb, assuming you have it, onto this corner area. And when you plant the bomb here, it'll make a safe one-way for you. Well, not safe, but it'll make a one-way for you. Okay, so the first lineup we have is also from B lobby. And although it's not really likely you'll be here in this type of scenario for this plant spot, but if you are, this is the lineup you're gonna do. So you're gonna aim at this thing, and you see your molly icon, like aim at the very top of it onto that thingy. And when you throw it, it'll land in your molly spot, I mean plant spot. It'll cover a lot of the area. The second molly spot we have is from heaven. So say you still have heaven control, or you got it back after you planted. And you definitely don't want to be holding it like this, like waiting for your molly. So as the defenders are most likely going to be rotating towards you, So you might even want to be like hanging out around here, wait for them to get on bomb possibly while watching these rotations to see if anyone comes this way. And what you want to do is you stand in this corner and you look towards here and you want to aim your gray bar like what I just put on the UI icon over there. A little bit to the left, I guess. I'll land like that. You do gotta be careful of not aiming too low, as if you aim too low like this, then it'll land on here. So you gotta be careful with that. If you want to be safe, you can aim even higher like this, but the coverage area would be a little less, or maybe that's also fine. It's just a general guideline, as this one honestly you could do by eye. This is just so like it covers more of the area on the plan. Alright, so the last molly lineup we have for the second plant spot for B right here is from B alley CT side. You want to stand in this corner like the other lineup, and you want to look up, and you're gonna be aiming your bottom right UI icon thing over here on his brown rust spot. So it'll look like this. That's when you throw. Okay, right. This one's a little bit hard to spot, so I'll show it again. It's like that spot right there. And when you do this, we'll also land in the plant spot. It'll cover the most area. Okay, so now we'll be covering A site. Our default safe plant spot on A site is gonna be right here in this corner. Now when they plant, make sure to look into the corner. That way the defenders have less room to defuse from. And they'll also be more stuck in your molly when they defuse. Okay, so first lineup we have is from A lobby, our side of spawn. And unlike over here, I changed the line of spot to here, as I felt it was a bit more safer. Although this spot is more obvious, as most lineups are from here when people do lineups, so you want to be more careful. You go here in this corner, and you want to aim the, like you see when you pull out the molly, you have this mouse icon thing. You want to aim the white part of it, like the bottom part of the mouse, the top right white part, around here. Notice this. Here. You want to aim the top right of your white mouse thing over there, and then you like shift walk diagonally to the left. Because if you throw it like this will happen. You gotta walk to the left. And when you like have your crosshair in a black line, that's when you throw it. I like throwing it when it's right here, as it'll cover just a little bit more area. So when you do that, it will land like this. And it showed it in one of the other molly spots, but you see this corner? Like there's like a little gap right there. It's not actually a gap. The molly still covers it, so it's fine. And the defenders might also think it's safe because they see a little gap and go over here. This will make them get more damage. That's the most coverage lineup you have, so that's really good. Okay, so for our second lineup, it's gonna be from A ramps. And you want to be standing in between this section here, like this cross thing. And you see when you pull out your molly thing, there's like the target icon and like the white diamond and the 3 triangles above it. You wanna aim the triangle right here, the very topmost part, the most pointy part up there. Then you keep moving to the right until the white diamond is on that line. It's going diagonal like this thing. So you do it like that, aim that first, and then move it to the right till the white diamond's on the diagonal, and then you throw it. And this will be the most coverage line of spot from that area of the map. Same thing, there's a little gap, but you'll still get damage. Third line of spot we have is from over here. You want to align yourself. Well, you want to put yourself in this corner first, let me just say that. And then you want to align your crosshair with this vertical thing. Not this one, but this one. Like the little thing that's sticking out. And you keep aiming up until your crosshair's on that diagonal gray bar thing. That's when you throw it. And it will bounce off the wall. And this will be the most coverage lineup spot from heaven. And same thing, there's a little gap, but it still damages. Last lineup we have is from their side of spawn. And unlike before, where you stand here-ish, you want to just put yourself in the corner. And for here, you gotta be a little bit more precise, but I feel like it'll be more consistent over. But this one does cover more, which is why I made this one. So put yourself in this corner, you look up, and you want to align your crosshair with these, like the edge of these blue diamond things. You want to aim it until it touches the tree. And you want to put it at the halfway mark. If you aim too high, then it won't work. So when you aim at the halfway mark, around there, it will be the most coverage spot possible from their side of the spawn. It doesn't cover as much as the other line spots we did, but you know, it'll still prevent the plant. It'll damage them a lot. It'll be tiny bit less likely to kill them though, and do more damage, but it still does the job. But let me show you if you do it incorrectly. So say you aim like too high above this white gap thing, like at the top of it, and this will happen. You will land up here, and your molly will not land down there. That's why you gotta be careful. If you want to be more safe, then you could just throw it like as soon as your crosshair's on that tree, but it'll be a little less coverage. Okay, so the final plant spot we'll be covering on split is the open plant on A. So you plant here when you have more control of A, as it's a lot better to plant here since it gives you the option to play from heaven. So the defenders not only have to clear sight, but they gotta hold this position, and if they can't hold it, then they have to worry about getting shot while they plant. Compared to planning on site somewhere here, like say the super solo queue default plant spot, which is actually really bad compared to this plant spot. As this plant spot gives you more options to play off of as an attacker, and they'll also be more to open, versus this, which the attackers will have to swing all the way to here or there in order to challenge them. If there's more defenders alive than one, then that's going to be a big problem. Versus this, where you could peek this and take a straight 1v1, for example. I'll at least see the plant here. But anyways, if it's safe to plant here, then you should definitely be planting here. Also, while you plant this spot, you want to be throwing your orb up here. And preferably you want to throw it as much to the right as possible, as it'll make it better for you. Okay, so for the first lineup we have for the open plant A is a lobby your side of spawn. And you want to align your crosshair with this blue line thing. You want to align it till your bottom left squiggly touches the diagonal gray bar. So over here, you do it till that thing which I just touched meets that. So just to clarify more, you see the top of that head thing? Just what I just put there. So you want to put your crosshair along the blue line and vertically align it until the squiggly touches that gray bar thing. And when you throw it, it'll land this spot. I have a lot of coverage. Now, I won't really be covering this and this, as you could literally just eyeball it. Now, the second lineup we have is from A-ramps. And you'll be doing this line spot again. Except what's different is you want to be aiming at that bottom right green square. You want to align the squiggly with that, the right side top squiggly, like this. And this will also land in the plant spot, also with a lot of coverage. Our last lineup is this one. Unlike from main and tower, which I did not cover since you can eyeball it. This one, you can eyeball it, but it has to be more specific, so I'll show. Basically, you're just gonna aim at the top of this gray bar thing and throw like that. So say you just planted a bomb and you think someone's gonna push onto site really quick. You just want to deny the defuse. So say you're like trading positions with someone on tower that's trying to get on site, and you trying to go on tower. You just throw it a lineup really like this. You won't actually. You should not hold here for a lineup. This is really bad. If you're gonna do your lineups, just do it from here. Or those two areas. It's a lot more safer. And also tower too. That's also really safe. Versus these two. These.
Careful.
You should only throw from these two sections if you're running out of time, or you think they're about to get on the bomb while you're trying to get to a lineup spot or reposition heaven. That's when you throw it. Or maybe you want to bait them to think you're over here. So say you throw the lineup here, then you reposition yourself heaven. Since they saw the lineup come from over here or there, so they'll be more likely to be distracted on these two areas compared to heaven. Same thing could be said about tower. You could just throw your lineup like that. And now they know your tower most likely if they paid attention. Now you can reposition yourself on one of these two sections. Now, there's also one lineup that's not like a volley lineup that I want to cover on this map. And like it's for the PostPlant. And you go over here. You have to stand up here, which is a little bit risky as there might be someone there that can see you. But sadly, it's the only way to do it. Unless if you want to expose yourself even more like that. But you stand up here, and you want to aim your crosshair at the top of this thing. Around here. And you throw your orb. And this will be a lot better to throw if you have, instead of trying to go on site yourself, as it will more, it's a guaranteed land on the right side, which will be the better one way for you. And you want to be putting these OneWays, not when you throw the molly. You don't want to do this. That's what new Vipers do. A real Viper, like a higher skilled Viper, will put the orb when you're peeking it. So you don't need to peek at all when you throw your mollies. You just wait till it disappears. They cannot defuse the bomb, so that means you do not peek the bomb. Because when you peek the bomb, it gives them a free chance to kill you. If you don't die, or if you get a kill, sweet. But what happens if you die? Then you just lost a round. Or you're now one man down. So, you want to be saving your orb energy for when you're going to peek it. So once you run out of mollies, that's when you put your orb in. And when you put for the A side, you want to be peeking from the right, as the defenders are more or less likely to see you. That was not correct grammar, but they're less likely to see you. But you can still see their legs. And you can also spam it if you want to peek from more far back. You do not want to stand up here, as your legs might be spotted possibly by standing up here. So you gotta peek from this right side. Close.
Poison orb emitting.
If you peek too much, they can't see you. So it's better to just hug like that. They could also see if they walk in front. So you gotta watch out for that. You could also still get wall bait potentially, as your arm might be sticking out, for example. Or they might just know you're there because you are shooting and stuff. Yeah, again, you do not want to use your orb until your mollies run out. That way you can stall it longer.
Poison orb emitting.
They're most likely going to be forced to get off the bomb, and if they don't, they'll die. This means a lot more stalling for your team.